Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. So yeah, we took out that high. We were talking about this morning. We did wick up towards the resistance area, but have subsequently failed, are currently failing below this horizontal here, but not to worry yet, because we're in this channel, aren't we? So we've got quite a few nice spots of potential support down here. We have got, well, the bottom of the trend line. We've got this horizontal here. We've even potentially got this trend line to support us also. But yeah, I mean, have we put in a local top though? Are we going to come and test a bit lower? Is 17.5 an optimistic low, and we'll bounce from there and trade in this area, or are we going to potentially trade lower than that? They are all the questions that we are gonna have to address at the moment. It is crazy how close we are to that elusive 20k Bitcoin, yet unable to muster that last bit of energy to get up there. It is kind of telling us all, really, isn't it, that we need some sort of a pullback, some sort of a consolidation, a certain amount of time to obviously pick up steam again and then blast our way through. Definitely seems like the more likely scenario. Obviously, until we break either this trend line or this horizontal, we still got to remain bullish though, for a turn up at any point. But yeah, once we take out these levels, once we take out about 18,400, I pretty much would expect we will be seeing about 17,500, and then we're going to decide, are we going to trade in this range, or are we going to consolidate at this low and break down below? That will be the name of the game. I've noticed I had a few people in the comments and in messages, like basically telling me that I can't say Bitcoin's going to go down, and it's like this to some irrational people, of course, and that literally, I think one of them is like, please don't say that Bitcoin can go down, because it can't, or something like that. And I just don't get it. Have they not seen a chart before? Do they just think lines just go straight up like this forever, and you don't get any sort of a pullback ever? I mean, we've had some pretty vicious pullbacks in this move so far, like this being one of them, which was a move of about 10%. So 10% from where we are now, or if we even want to take it as from the top of that wick, 10% brings us fully down to that bottom of 17,500. Perfectly normal price action. Yeah. I mean, we are looking like we need a move down to there, and it's not necessarily going to be a bearish thing if we do basically flush out some of the over leveraged longs, basically some of the FOMO Joes, and then yeah, consolidate down here, form a base, and then start to move back up again, maybe form an ascending triangle of sorts, with this as the top, and then eventually blast our way through. I mean, it's perfectly normal. And if you want to look at something similar, we can actually go over to Tesla. I mean, this did a similar thing. I mean, we got to this high, and then we sort of pushed up there, didn't make it, pushed up there, didn't make it, pushed up there, didn't make it, pushed up, and then you can see the higher lows, and then eventually we did blast through, and that was obviously after quite a big, nice, long push up. I mean, if we see this sort of price action in Bitcoin at this level here, it's gonna look fine. It's gonna look great for a move. And incidentally, I was actually just looking at this earlier. This is the line that I've had drawn in. If any of you guys want to look in my past videos, this was just the extension, the target that I put in. And I mean, look at that. It's crazy that it's even on the exact candle that made it, pretty much. at the exact level. But that is literally is the level that I drew in. If you go back to any of my, I mean, I haven't changed this or moved this, but that's just literally it was. It's obviously a bit of a fluke. It's happened on that candle. But yeah, literally just hit that target absolutely on the dot. Absolutely on the dot. So yeah, but anyway, my point of looking at this chart was that we could see this sort of action up here in Bitcoin. And yeah, I mean, we could be up here until like when's this 8th or 9th of December would be like sort of an equivalent amount of time. So yeah, I mean that looks perfectly normal to me. Obviously the flip side is we just come back down to the bottom of this level, we bounce off it, we start to move back up, and then once we take out what is now this high of 19,500, then 20k, and that is basically what would actually likely happen if we do bounce off the bottom of here. But yeah, I mean, we have got to kind of expect some sort of a pullback at some point. I know that some people that maybe more recently got involved just buying now think we're going to blast straight through 20k and go to 30k are probably wondering why that hasn't happened yet. And yeah, that just is what it is, I guess, isn't it? Let's have a look at the dollar, the DXY. Look at it, guys. It wants to go. Have we actually traded that one handle today, that 91 handle? We have traded the 91 handle actually a couple of times, a few times. So yeah, this is looking very, very bearish. This is, guys, as I do obviously keep saying, and is my fundamental view. I mean, if you flip this chart, it would look very bullish, and it would actually probably look similar to that Tesla chart as well. Did someone say Control I does it? Alt I, it does. Alt, no, yeah, Alt I's done it. There we go. So that has inverted it. Thanks for that, guy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this looks incredibly bullish. You'll be looking at, if this was Bitcoin and Bitcoin had put in this move, you'd be looking at this and thinking, yeah, this is going up. Look at this. This is going to break up for sure. Yeah, and yeah, literally, this is the inverse DXY, and it is going to break up, I reckon, and he's going to get up to here. And I mean, Bitcoin's probably going to be about 30k by that point, 25 to 30k. Alt I, can I reinvert? Yes, I can. Excellent. I'm glad I know that. Thanks again. But yeah, so dollar index looking bearish. Gold and silver not really paying a lot of attention to the dollar index, but at some point these guys will just break to the upside, I believe. Yeah, I mean, especially silver. Gold. I mean, gold, I'm still looking at to come and tag down here, but yeah, obviously if the dollar does break down, this is going to have to start at least putting some strength, but I think silver is the one that could potentially have an explosive move to the upside. Stocks, S&P, how are you looking, S&P? Yeah, I mean, still looking good, still looking bullish. Just looks like we had a bit of a sell-off for, well, around that 9, not quite on it. But yeah, I mean, will we just form a box up here, a range up here? Likely it is likely, isn't it? I guess stocks only go up. We all know that. But yeah, stock market's looking good. Stock market's looking bullish too. Everything's looking bullish. Just buy everything. I don't think Nicola's looking that bullish though. Oh, actually, it's trying to stage a recovery here. So yeah, just wait for this to lose steam and then sell it back down again, because this is a reverse merger scam stock. But anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin dominance. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, Bitcoin, obviously alts getting hit a little bit here at the moment. Yeah, so Bitcoin dominance up a bit again. I mean, very realistically, we can just trade in this range here. No problem there. We can back test this horizontal and come back down. No problem there. It's just if we get back above this level, it could start to look a bit hairy for altcoins again. But I think Bitcoin will establish a range, a more certain range than we've got at the moment. I mean, we are still in an uptrend, and some people think we're going to break up. Some people are expecting a big pullback. If we establish a range where people then think, right, we are just going to range, then I think that's when altcoins will really start to have just continuous takeoff, basically, day after day after day. But at the moment, we are not necessarily in a consolidating range. We can break above, we can break down. We've not shown that we are basically trading here. And if we come back down and start to trade back up again, I think that basically will be a signal for altcoins to start moving, along with Bitcoin moving up. And then if it gets rejected there, then maybe carry on moving up also. But yeah, interesting times. It does look like the dollar is going to fall down, and if it just break, sorry, that's not the dollar. It does look like that dollar is going to break down, and if it does break down, and even if it breaks just below here, I cannot see that that's not going to give Bitcoin that impetus just to move $1,000 more to the upside, pretty much. So yeah, that is that. So we'll have a look at the stochastics, see if they're starting to turn back down again. Obviously, we know they were looking pretty good this morning. Yeah, 4 hour is moving down. Again, it obviously has had its move up and move back down today. 10 hour. Is it starting to turn back down? Yeah, 10 hour looking like it is going to start to turn back down. I guess that will be feeding through to the 12 hour, which it is. So we are waiting to get into the purple zone for the 12 hour. Yeah, daily there or thereabouts. I mean, everything high is still looking okay, but obviously toppy. But we are just in a parabolic move up. So these can stay quite toppy. But yeah, I mean, these 10 hour and this 12 hour. Especially this 12 hour, if it comes down into this purple zone, is going to indicate, I think, a move down, very least down to 17.5, but potentially even this area, even around 16k. So yeah, I would be watching out for that. I think 16k Bitcoin would dishearten a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people expect to see that price. And for those reasons alone, are reasons why I think we could potentially have got a good possibility of getting down here. So yeah, that is it guys, really. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Happy hump day. It is in fact Wednesday, isn't it? Let me check. Yeah, Wednesday. Yes, happy hump day, as they say down under. So yeah, thanks a lot guys for listening. Remember, not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.